it's Pokemon tier list time. So I made this myself. I got all of the I got all of the Pokemon images from Twitter, and there's probably more at this point. And there's gonna be more tomorrow probably. But this is just like what I've got at the time of the stream. So if you guys don't know, a couple days ago there was an employee from Game Freak that someone got into his account, his computer, his whatever, and took 1 terabyte of Game Freak information. Some of this is like cool beta designs, maps, unreleased Pokemon that never saw the joy of being created. But unfortunately, there was also a lot of Game Freak employees that ended up getting doxxed as a result. There's unreleased Pokemon games, unreleased Game Freak games that weren't Pokemon, and there's also... The leaker also got Pokemon Legends Z to A stuff and Gen 10 stuff, along with the codename for Switch 2, and that's public. But I saw that there was the alleged leaker asking for another leaker's identity to be doxxed online, and if that leaker got doxxed, he basically put out a hit, an identity hit on this other leaker who I guess steals other leaks and takes credit for them. I don't know the drama. But if this other leaker gets doxxed, then this original leaker will allegedly leak everything they know about Legends Z to A, which I don't want that to happen. That whole kind of situation is messed up. The circumstance that we got this information in kind of sucks. But we have some fun Pokemon stuff to look at, so we're gonna make the most of it that we can right here. So the first one here is gonna be Beta Absol. This is the Absol. I think there's a lot of people that see a lot of these designs, including this one. They're like, look what they robbed from us. I like the horn. The more obvious yin and yang theme is cool. I think it's nice, but this is one of those situations where I think the design that we ended up getting was a little bit better. I mean, it's all right. It's fine. It's fine. I prefer the one that we currently have. The horn wouldn't be practical, but yeah, I think Pokemon's design strengths, or I guess Game Freak's rather, are in their subtlety. So I think if we got this design instead, well, I'm happy with what we got. I'll just leave it at that. Ambipom is it's a little creepier. I don't know like what it is about it. Hold on, let me bring it up real quick. Yeah, it's just its eyes are a little more soulless. I don't know what it is. I don't have a lot to say about it. I'll put what? How many Pokemon are there? On this tier list, I have like about 200. I have about 200. I'm sure there's more Pokemon that got leaked earlier today, but I made most of this yesterday. Yesterday was like the big day for the leaks, and people are still going through the whole terabyte. There's about 100 or 200 right now. So this, I don't know if you guys will be able to guess what this is, or is it going to pop up when I bring up the image, the name? Yeah, this is an early design of Arceus. There was another earlier design that was leaked like several years ago when there was another Game Freak leak smaller than this, where Arceus was a blob. This is another earlier design, like this is in between the blob and the current one that we have. And what came with this one in particular, I think was really cool, because in addition to all of these designs, we also got like Game Freak lore, which was really fun. Really, like the origin of the universe, of the Pokemon universe rather. But you know, also technically everything that's not public or released already, this is not technically canon, but there's a lot of cool stuff here and that fits them in with the canon, including things like apparently pseudo legendaries like Dragonite and Tyranitar, and also Gyarados apparently were like some of Arceus's disciples or something, which is wacky and weird. But yeah, they did a lot of stuff with the head, and then they kind of gave up past the neck. I don't know if they just weren't feeling this. I think the design is fine. I want to see what the whole body would look like finished. It's all right. It definitely doesn't feel like the creator of the Pokemon universe type thing. Blah blah blah. This is okay. This is a beta Archeops. It's like a little meteor. It's fine. It's whatever. It looks more animal than Pokemon, and there's another thing. There's another instance where I prefer the what we got. It's all right. It does the job. Whatever. I do have more solid opinions about some of the later ones, don't worry. Audino, it's just like looking up. I don't know if you can tell from here. Archeops is A tier. Archeops as a Pokemon of itself is A tier for sure. This one I don't like as much as the new one, which is why I'm putting it there. Oh wait, hold on a second. Hold on, let me get a better look at this. Hold on, I just looked at it a little bit more. Is that 2 sets of wings instead of legs? No, it has arms that are wings and the legs are also up as wings. Is it meant to be using its tail to balance because it has trouble flying? Hold on, that is really cool actually. Hold on, wait, hold on, wait, that's pretty cool. This is Audino, yeah, it's just looking up a little bit. It looks a little more silly. It's alright, I don't have a lot to say about it, it's alright. This is just an early sprite of Bayonet. I don't know if it has that thing in its rear end in the final design. I don't think it does. This is the original Basculin. This, or, you know, the one that was leaked. It has like flying fish vibes, and I like the blue color a lot, even though I understand why they changed it so that not all water types were blue. And we'll get a little more into that later, I guess. But this one's really cool. This one's really cool. I'm gonna put this in A tier. Basculin is like on its own pretty unimpressive, but this gives it its own identity. This is Beartic. It's a little more yellow, and it has like an extra beard spike. Normally it just has these 3, but this one has those extra 2 on the side, and I'm wondering why they didn't do that. I wonder why they didn't commit. Even when the games came out, I felt like the beard only being like this made it underdesigned. I'm still only gonna put it in. I mean, it's all right. Oh my gosh, flying piranhas would be terrifying. I don't know. I really don't know why they moved away from this. That's so weird. And then imagine they still committed to Basculegion and Legends Arceus, and it was a flying Basculegion. Could still be Water Ghost, but it could fly out of the water. Oh my gosh. Behemoth and LGM are both on this. Spoilers. I want to put it in between. I mean, it's all right, and oh, what? No strong feelings. That's fine. They made his brain a little more intimidating. Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is Bisharp. The only difference I could tell here is it is more so just red and gray. Doesn't have white instead. Is that a smile right there? Ooh, does that have a grin? I think I prefer it without the grin. I mean, it's all right. I'm not gonna be ranking these in between each tier, but I will be doing a top 5, I think, and I will have a top 5. This is Boldore. It's a little green instead in this beta sprite. I think that would have made it a little more interesting instead of just a dark blue or black. I don't know. This is 2 different. This is official art that like was not official art, obviously, but it was artwork that was made alongside the sprite. But it does have like different design characteristics. This was a Gen 3 Pokemon, and I think this was the original Bonsly. I kind of like it, but I think the Bonsly we got was way more practical and better, but it's all right. I'm gonna put this one in oh what though, because it's, why am I ranking it? It feels a little more pitiful. I feel like its features aren't as pronounced, and then it just like seems kind of helpless and hopeless almost. I don't like how sad it looks. Why does it look sad? Oh my gosh, and also, oh wait, there's also a face on it. Oh, is that supposed to be 2 eyes, a nose, and then those other ones are tears? Is that what they're going for with this? Looks like Ferroseed. It could be. I think it's Bonsly. I think it's Bonsly because it looks like a sad face here, but only in this sprite. In the art, it's just dots. In the art, it's just dots. Though I think I have to give this one the edge now that the things look like dots. It could be an early version of Ferroseed, even though it was Gen 3. There was another Gen 5 Pokemon in this list that you'll see that was supposed to be that was originally made for Gen 3. So honestly, it could be Ferroseed for sure. So this is Beta Breldum. He doesn't have the hat. He looks kind of like a chocobo. And there's also a different Shroomish that kind of links into this form a little bit better. It makes Shroomish to Breloom make more sense, in my opinion. But definitely, so glad we got the official one instead. This one isn't offensive or anything, but I don't care for it at all. You love that one? Oh no, Kittles. No strong feelings. I think I just like Breloom so much more. I'm sorry, Kittles. I mean, if Breloom were to have like a convergent form that was grass electric, I think this would be great. But because it's like bird-like too, which is kind of freaky. But if I had to choose between this one and the official one, hard disagree. Well, riddle me this. What do you think of Beta Cacturn? This thing was the very first one that I saw that I was like freaking out about. This is crazy. This is what I kind of imagined Cacturn to be to begin with. You know, over the years, he's like way less and less intimidating over time, especially with those stats. Oh my gosh. But this is like a 3 or 4-legged beast. This thing, a lot of the Gen 3 art that came out is like in this art style too, which is really freaky. And you guys are gonna see more of that later. This is a hard S tier, 100%. Maybe they didn't add this because, okay, so I think like they dialed back some of the designs because it was they had a lot of like horror art. I'm immediately making that one in my top 5, 100%, 100%. We'll name S tier later, but this is in my top 5 without a doubt. It's such a cool design, and the art that I've seen is so cool. It's also like, I don't know if it's just like the way the art is, but I feel like it's supposed to be like 9 feet tall, which maybe isn't the case because I think Groudon is also 9 feet tall. Legendary Cacturn? Oh my gosh. So here's the other thing about the leak is that I feel like the downside to this is that because all of these Pokemon were released, it might lessen the chance of these Pokemon actually becoming real later down the line, which is like a couple of the Pokemon that were originally in Gen 3 ended up coming out in Gen 4, Gen 5, whatever. I think this leak might make so that these really cool Pokemon, their concepts never get fully realized. The Pokemon Company and Game Freak are going to be allocating resources to find out how this happened, who did it, who got caught, who's going to get caught. And honestly, this leak, even though we see really cool Pokemon like this, I feel like it's going to inhibit the next few Pokemon games, which kind of suck. It kind of sucks to think about. Hopefully that's not exactly the case. Hopefully we get something like this one day. Beta camera up sprite. No strong feelings. It's like a little thinner, I think. Can't really tell. Let me bring up a bigger image. I think it's just a little thinner. Yeah. Okay, so this is Caracosta, the turtle fossil. I do not like the color scheme. You know, I feel like I can't put this thing that low the longer I look at it. Yeah, the colors kind of ruin it for me. The colors make it hard for me to like what were they thinking with the colors here? That's why I'm putting in what. So Castform originally looked like this little marshmallow guy. I kind of like it more than what we got. This is the original Castform. Its other forms are way more boring. But I really like this little marshmallow guy design. I think it's really cute and cool. Okay, so we have a couple Clamperls here. This one is like this one is 2 Pokemon. And it's like a clam Pokemon and also a pearl Pokemon. If you guess where they got the name from. I think it's a cool concept. I think it's more interesting than Clamperl. And it makes the evolution of this Pokemon make a lot of sense too.
Refreshing.
Which we'll see later. I think this is a really cool design. I think it's like a little freaky, but it's still Pokemon. Oh, this is another Clamperl form though, which is, I don't know if I want to put it this high. Let me bring up the full art. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's kind of less of a clam and more of just a little thing. I'm pretty sure this is another Clamperl. You know what? Maybe it's the artwork and the art design. I don't know. The sprite definitely wouldn't have looked like this, but I think Hoenn definitely needed more deep sea creature Pokemon, and Clamperl and Relicanth and Lantern whatever are fine. I think this could have lived alongside Clamperl. Yeah, what's the S tier for if not this, honestly? I want it to be real. Harumph. Okay. This is Claydol. It's a little greener. Also a little more worn down. I like what we got more. It's alright. Oh, okay. So this is, okay, you guys are gonna get another second to guess. This is Cobalion. Just a little refresher. If you guys aren't sure what Cobalion looks like. That's what Cobalion looks like. All of the other Swords of Justice have a similar result. We'll see later, though. Amipom should be in basically already exists. Should I make another tier for that? I'm trying to think. Yeah, honestly, you're right. I'm gonna do another. Yeah, add row above. I think. Okay, so with the everything up to Gen 5, they did sprite work. This is my interpretation of what I see. They did sprite work of Pokemon for their concept art to a degree. They definitely did that for Gen 1. They made the pixel art sprites in Gen 1 before the Kensugamori art was created. And I think they did that a little bit up to Gen 5 just because they could, because they needed a design that would work in sprite art. So I think they did the sprite art a lot first. And I think this is just like, someone was messing around for Cobalion. I don't think this was like an actual like design they were considering because it's so simple, but it's in the list. It was leaked. We're gonna talk about it. Okay, so this is Volcarona. This one is basically the same, but it has 2 less wings. It's not bad, but I am glad that I got the official one instead here. Me, personally. It's all about me. This is Volcarona. This is what it looks like close up. It looks almost naked with only the 2 wings, honestly. It does look somewhat mythical, but yeah, it's not awful, but I prefer the one we got. So this one, we have all of the forms of this line. This one is Conkeldurr. It's floating on a rock, and it has this huge mustache. I love the mustache. Also, I think the color scheme with the red and the yellow is very nice. The red, yellow, white. I think it looks really good. The rock is weird. I don't know if it's like supposed to be sitting on the rock and they could use the rock and like throw it at things as a weapon. Maybe there's like a stick behind it and it's actually a big hammer. That'd be cool. I like this design. I like it a lot. Like the rock thing is weird, but I like weird. I'm gonna put it in. Hold on, it's pretty cool. I'm between hold on, it's pretty cool and what? Don't get me wrong. This is Krogunk. It basically exists. Its head is a little bit bigger, but whatever. This is Crustle. So by the way, we also have a Dwebble. I wanted to have them ordered by generation, but tier list maker was weird. It was kind of annoying to do. I just dumped everything they had. This is Crustle. It's a very basic Crustle, but I think they could have refined this on it as it is and made it work, but I'm gonna put it in no strong feelings for now. This is Cubchoo. Obviously, the new Teddiursa of the generation. I'm gonna put it in what? Because it freaks me out. And I have this one as a separate Pokemon. We only have the back sprite for it, or at least as far as I could tell at the time. I think this is a middle form between Cubchoo and Beartic because the snot bubble is different, and also it's on all 4s for some reason. I'm gonna put it in no strong feelings though. I think a 3-form Cubchoo would be interesting. That's kind of what they made Teddiursa now because of Ursaluna. So like you could do that with bear Pokemon, whatever. Deoxys. This is the original. I'm gonna bring up a different or a bigger version here, so you guys can get a good gander. That is what Deoxys was originally. It's just this little star thing. I love it. Deoxys is already one of my favorite mythical Pokemon because there's so much we don't know about it. It's so freaky. It maybe wants to kill us still. Who knows? Every single Pokemon is designed to be your friend except for Deoxys, and I love that. Also, Eternatus, whatever. I think if you were to give Deoxys a baby form, this would be great. If I would not want it to replace current Deoxys, this might be top 5, honestly, but I think it's freaky and wonderful. It's pure essence realized and undiluted, but you're right. It was just too good for our world. Yeah, no, I love this little thing for sure. I think I star you, but drug. Well, okay, so the cool. Oh my gosh, you just like opened up my third eye. Hold on a second. So, in Gen 1 or 2, there's some there's a Pokedex entry for this for Staryu, and it says like at night when it's a clear sky, or not clear sky, but you know it's dark enough to see the stars. Staryu come to the surface of the ocean and start blinking in some sort of alien Morse code. Like it's like an actual Pokedex entry in the video games. So like Staryu is like theorized to be an alien Pokemon, and if Deoxys was supposed to look like this, maybe Deoxys was an extension of Staryu and Starmie. They have Starlight. I'm really interested in Pokemon lore, guys. I got brain broken at a young age. Yeah, I kind of want this to be real. I'm gonna put it in top 5 for now, honestly. Explain the Psychic type too? Exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. It's not technically canon because it wasn't released, but whatever. You guys are never gonna guess this next one. I'm gonna give you one more second. Time's up. It is Dino. This is what Dino, the pseudo-legendary from Gen 5, originally looked like. I think it's like, again, like a Gen 5 sprite thing. They were trying something out. They were using the sprite work to... What? We only have the back sprite of Drapion. I think it's basically the same thing. Even though the art is a little less refined, it's basically Drapion. Ducklet is a little fatter, but it basically exists. I think this Ducklet's a little bit better since its head is smaller. I think this one's more aesthetically pleasing. It's all right. I think the proportions honestly pull a lot of weight. Durant basically exists. Okay, so this is original Dwebble. Again, I much prefer the original one that we got. It's still Dwebble coded, so it's all right. It's all right. It's definitely better than the Crustle without a doubt. It has like this kind of rock that it's under has its own identity, which is cool. I think this rock is more interesting than the one Dwebble's under, but it's all right. It's all right. Electric, it basically exists. Okay, this Electros is pretty cool. Electros was always like one of my more favorite Pokemon from Gen 5, specifically because of the way the sprite art looked. In 3D, they're not doing it a lot of justice because they're always making it float, whatever. This thing looks like a demon. Let me bring up a bigger picture here. Look at that! Look at that! The eel with arms, not only is it gonna bite you and eat you, but it's also going to choke you with its hands. Anyway, this one's really cool. I like what we got, so I don't think I could put it up here. I think this pose is putting in a lot of work, maybe, because I like the colors more in the official one. So this is the first in the lineup of Beta Electrike. This looks, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I understand why they went with the official Electrike. But I like what they're going for here. It's a little more dog-like. The proportions are weird, but I like. I think the lightning bolt form lands more. It seems unfinished, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. We're gonna see more. We're gonna see more. Don't worry. This is the original LGM, and this looks freaky. I really like this actually. The tail is kind of weird. I think this is a little more completed than the Behem. I think this is really good. I really don't know why they moved away from this. Emboar. I think this beta design for Emboar, honestly, it's kind of a shame that we didn't get this. Its arms are a lot bigger, and it seems like way more of a threat. Obviously, like the gray overpowering the orange and yellow doesn't really benefit it, but I think this design makes Emboar seem way more of a threat, and like also its legs make it look like it can move. Like the current Emboar's legs are just so stubby. I think if we got this Emboar, the firefighting pig guy would not be as scrutinized as much. Okay. All right. So spoilers. This is Emolga. Pikachu is definitely a big starting point for this. They were like, let's make a Pikachu, give it different ears, wings, and a tail. I much prefer what we got. The official Emolga is way more charming. Okay, but this guy, Escavalier? Oh my gosh. I kind of get why they didn't commit to this, because it's a little over-designed, I'll admit. But I love how much bigger this headpiece is. This seems like so much more threatening than what we got, even though the differences are kind of subtle. Let me bring up a comparison. This is what we got. Oh, sorry. This is what we got. It's a little more colorful, which is nice. It connects itself to the first form, which makes a little more sense. It makes more sense with what we ended up doing in the game and having to be the cross evolution, whatever, with the trade. It seems freaky, and I kind of don't understand it, which makes me want it to be real. I'm putting that up there in the S tier, me personally. And there's nothing you can do about it. Not even a bug type anymore, it's Steel Awesome type, exactly, yeah. Yeah. Flygon used to be bald. And it really makes you wonder why it wasn't a bug type, especially here. I feel like they wanted it to be a bug type, but they were scared because they didn't want to make it too weak because bug type used to be awful. It's still the worst, one of the worst types, but whatever. It's all right. Definitely prefer the current Flygon, but this one's, honestly, I can't hate it, even if it's bald. There's nothing wrong with bald. Hey, shout out to all the bald people in the world. All right, can we have a moment of, I was gonna say moment of silence, but there's nothing wrong with being bald, guys. This is Beta Fracture, and it looks a little faster and a little more threatening, honestly. I kind of like it, even if it is basically the same. I like it for the same reasons I like Ducklet. This one feels a little more... I think this one feels a little more Pokemon to me. I don't know. Like, Gen 5, I feel like is wrongfully scrutinized for feeling not like Pokemon. But I think it's because they only had new Pokemon for, like, 2 years. And because you didn't see... This is not my own, like, theory. This is a theory I've stolen from many other people. But because you didn't see, like, the Lillipups and the Lipards walking around and playing with, like, Pidgeys and Sentrants or whatever, it didn't, like, click in your head that they were Pokemon for a while. And that's why I like a lot of new Pokemon initially feel, oh, they're like Digimon, blah, blah, blah. But the proportions for this one, making Fracture seem more dinosaur-y right out the gate, I feel like it benefits it. I need to blink. Am I not blinking? This next group of Pokemon, these are unreleased Pokemon, like, completely. We're gonna have a big section of unreleased Gen 3 Pokemon and unreleased Gen 5 Pokemon. And I named the images like G3A, G32, whatever, and so on. And that's why there's gonna be a big section of Pokemon that don't officially exist. And then we're gonna get back to beta designs. But the first one on this list is really cool in my opinion. It's also kind of weird. This is supposed to be the final form of Electrike. Electrike was supposed to evolve into Manectric and then into whatever this thing is, and I only assume that because of the color scheme. It also makes more sense with this beta Electrike form. It has this star thing going on, but like part of the star is its legs. I like what they're going for. It's going for like a shooting star, and like that's pretty fast, like a lightning bolt fast almost. I kind of want to see this return, but in its own kind of design. Even though we already got another fast dog in Boltund recently. I think it needs refined, but I like it. Okay, so this is another Gen 3 Pokemon. We have both official art and... Or not, art and a sprite. They have different color schemes for some reason. I think this is... So when the Space World demo got leaked for Gen 2... The starter, I'm pretty sure, was this. So I think in Gen 3, they were going to bring it back. Because it was like this Nessie type of Pokemon, but it wasn't Lapras because it didn't have the shell, obviously. I think it's fine. I think Gen 3 was also supposed to, like, replace Gen 1 entirely. That's why a lot of the Pokemon are similar to Gen 1. Kind of like Gen 5 was also a soft reboot. I think Gen 3 was supposed to be a soft reboot in its own way. So I think they wanted this to replace Lapras, maybe. It leaves a little bit to be desired. I like that this green one is a little freak. I like how, it's a water type that messes with colors that aren't blue, and I respect that. So I like it a little bit more. It's all right, and it has its own identity. They keep on going for beta Loch Ness designs, and they keep on changing them. Yeah, they do. They really do. They really love the Loch Ness design. I feel like they don't commit a lot. If they made like a little ghost freak of Lapras, I'd be down. I'd be down. I just want them to commit. Honestly, even this could be its own thing. Like, more so than this, but like this. Like, maybe this would be a deep sea Pokemon. Yeah, I don't know. The late game of Hoenn obviously was meant to be a little bit more. I think there was meant to be more deep sea Pokemon and water Pokemon. I think Pokemon like this and like this freaky Clamperl would have filled out that dex a way better, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay, I need to bring up the art for this one, because this one's crazy. This is another one of those Pokemon that has the crazy art. I have no idea what this was supposed to be. Another grass type for sure, right? I just like the monster Pokemon. It has like 3 fingers, but it turns into a fist or something. That's pretty cool. I kind of want it to be real. I don't know if I want the artwork itself to boost it up there. You know what? Whatever. I want it to be real. Why not? Let's do it. It's a monster. Okay. So this next one, I believe, was the early concept for Rayquaza. So the reason why I think this is Rayquaza, because it's like a serpent bird, so it's definitely meant to be a sky deity. And if you think about it, it kind of matches with, Kyogre's a water deities, and it's pure water. Groudon is an earth deity, it's pure ground. Rayquaza is dragon flying, but this one would be only flying, so I think I can see this as a starting point. This one, this is the artwork. It's a little low quality, and this is the sprite work. I think the sprite work lends itself a little bit better to the design, with like the pure white and with the yellow accents. I definitely prefer Rayquaza, but if we're talking about this Pokemon on its own merits, it's all right. But I put the pixel art in. Hold on, that's pretty cool. It just barely edges it out into the next tier. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say. This thing, okay. So yeah, a lot of these other Pokemon here, I have no idea what they are. This is just a weird, maybe Poison Steel. I don't know. I liked the Pokemon designs in general that I don't really know what I'm looking at, and this definitely fits that idea. But it's all right. It's all right. I don't have a lot of strong feelings. It's a weird thing. I would have welcomed this if it was real. If this thing had its own like anime special, and I watched it as a kid, I could see this being one of my favorite Pokemon. But unfortunately, not the case. Oh, this. Okay, this is definitely meant to be. This is a Gen 3 Pokemon. It was meant to be Abomasnow, I'm pretty sure, at some point. I kind of like it how it is though. It's just a tree with hands. He's left hook, right hook. He's capable of both of them. It's simple but effective. I also felt like we needed more ice type Pokemon in the late game for Gen 3. The ice type Elite Four member only has Glalie and Celiel. This one's nice. I like it a lot. Another ice type, a little Yeti with hands on its feet. Let me find the sprite work here. This is what it looks like close up. It has lips on its feet too. Don't like that. Don't like that, but I understand why it would need it. Hot take. I like the design. However, given the current state of affairs of Twitter and how they are about feet, so glad it just simply doesn't exist. Yeti was beta. Oh yeah, the Yeti was beta Gen 2. I remember that as well. No, yeah, the Yeti Pokemon for sure would have been good. I'm kind of upset we didn't get this. I'm gonna put it in. I wish it was real. I kind of wish it was real. Not because of the feet, guys. Well, not because of the feet. Hear me out. I think it's just a cool design. This little bug thing, I have no idea what it is, but I kind of respect it. It's all right. I kind of respect it. It's wacky, weird. I don't really recognize it. Maybe this is a beta Volbeat. Who knows? They sort of did the Yeti crab. Oh yeah, the Yeti crab. Yeah, with Crabominable. I don't mind Crabominable. Oh my gosh, Crabominable does have hands on its on its claws or whatever, or mouths. I mean, is this beta Crabominable? Cool squid water Pokemon. I'm kind of upset that we didn't get this. This is freaky and cool. Obviously, we got like Malamar at some point. But this kind of seeing this kind of Pokemon in the late game of Gen 3 would have been really nice. 100% would have been nice. It's kind of cute, but I also don't know what I'm looking at. Is this supposed to be original ball toy? Like obviously it's not like a top, like a spinning top, but it seems like one of those things that like balance on with a curved bottom. I don't know. Seeing what this would evolve into, I could learn to love it. It also looks a little sad, so maybe I love it by default out of pity. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in, oh, what? Okay, this bunny, it doesn't really give me Pokemon vibes necessarily, but it does, for some reason, when I first saw it, I got the same kind of wonder I did as a kid when I saw a creature that was kind of familiar, but also I had no idea why does it look different? Why does it have grass on its back? And what are those little baby bunnies in them? This sparked a joy in me that I haven't quite felt since I was a kid. So I want it to be real for that. It might be top 5. I'll put it in top 5 for now because of the way it made me feel. Oh, this thing. Okay, this thing this is what everyone is talking about. This is so freaky. This would be a mythical. I really want this to be real. I don't know if it applies to my taste in particular. Well, we'll get to that in a second. I don't know if it applies to my taste in particular, but this is without a doubt an S tier design. Without a doubt. It's so freaky and cool. It's like translucent. It's like it's almost like Zygarde, where it's like a life dog. It does seem almost incomplete, and I don't know how you would get this by over through pixel art, so maybe that was a part of the reason why it doesn't exist. I don't know if it would fit with Pokemon that well, but I can't lie, it is a good design. This is what I presume to be the first form of Gen 3's girly grass types. It's alright. It kind of reminds me of Smoochum, which is kind of negative. But like the sprite art, I'm gonna put this one in what? Because honestly, it kind of reminds me of Jinx a little too much. Oh, I can't unsee it now. Better off that it doesn't exist. Why? How did they almost make this mistake a second time? Yeah, this does seem like a baby Lilligant. I can see that being the case, but the fact that it kind of looks like Blackface is like come on. Like, come on, you had to change Jinx's colors, and it still doesn't even really fix it. And you still, like, you're gonna do it again? After doubling down with Smoochum? Okay, so with the shape of this one, you could probably make the argument that it's a beta Jirachi. I can kind of see it. I could still kind of see it and believe it, but I'm gonna put it in, what? What's the water poison defensive form? The first form? Oh, Marini? Yeah, this could be a beta Marini.
I'm thirsty.
Oh my gosh, wait, that's kind of a deep cut. It evolves into Toxapex, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that could be Marini. It's alright. I feel like I should put it up there just because it might be linked to Marini. That makes it a lot more interesting. Okay, I don't know what this thing is. I don't it's weird. It's weird, but I kind of like that it's weird. And the sprite art is honestly pretty nice, but maybe this seems like one of those Pokemon that I feel like Game Freak was, you know, screen testing some of the designs with some children, and they're like, "What? I don't know what that is." Goo goo gaga. Wait, is it a Pokemon with the you know that ball in a cup minigame where you're like, and you try to catch it in the cup? It's like ball on a string and you in a cup. Is this a Pokemon based on that little game? It is growing on me. It is growing on me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, both the official art and the sprite work. I like the sprite work more, but... I kind of want it to be real. I kind of want it to be real. It's really growing on me. It's really growing on me. Okay, this little... I don't really know what this is. It's some sort of beast with one big ear. Yo, maybe the sound type was gonna be real after all. You had Whismer and you have this thing with the big ear. I don't really have any strong feelings. I think this has potential. Like, maybe it evolved into a couple of things similar to Eevee. It almost seems like a blank slate Pokemon. It's fine. Whatever. This thing is so weird. It's a tree stump. Is that a mouth on its head? But it has a big nose? I don't know. There's a lot of grass types. There's a lot of grass types they're making for Gen 3. This is just... It's funny, but not for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to come off as a hater, but I feel like I need to be a little more critical. I'm gonna put it in better off that it doesn't exist. Okay. This next one is, you know, another water type to flesh out the late game of Gen 3. Makes sense. It's a Siren. This is definitely beta Primarina in a way, one way or the other. It's also got like dog hands. That's you know what? So glad this thing doesn't exist, because I you know, people would not stop talking about it. I feel like way more than any other like feminine Pokemon. That anyway. This next Pokemon also kind of like leans into the idea of a sound type, which is really interesting now that I'm starting to think about it. I was getting Politoed vibes to begin with, but obviously this was made after Politoed already existed. A frog with a treble clef. I really like this design, and I wouldn't mind seeing this return as a convergent form, convergent evolution or whatever for not convergent, whatever. Anyway, a different form of Politoed. I think I like this form. It couldn't be Chatot. This Chatot, yeah, sound type. I feel sound type would balance. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it. A little frog guy, I like it. Okay, I saw this, and I thought this for a second was gonna be I thought it was Zangoose, but it's a little too different from Zangoose. Maybe it was gonna be Zangooses' original rival. Even though Zangoose and Seviper rivalry makes a whole lot of sense on its own. It's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind if this thing existed. It's all right. So there's this guy. I think if this thing got released, it's just like a little freak, and that's okay. Parentheses endearing. There's a lot of stuff going on with it, and I don't really understand it entirely, but I think that's to its advantage. I think that's like where Pokemon shines a lot of the time, especially in the early generations. I could see this being like a Gen 3 mascot, pretty much. So I think I like even the sprite work here too. Like someone had a vision. 100% someone had a vision. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move it down a little bit more the longer I look at it. I don't know why. I just had a feeling that I needed to do that. It's all right. No strong feelings, honestly. Okay, but this is another monster. This is terrifying. It's really cool. You only see a part of it. Look at that. This design seems like they were really leaning into like the Poke Gods thing that people were talking about on school playgrounds when Gen 1 came out. There's a lot of really cool art like this. You know what? I want it to be real. Anything that's in this art style, I want it to be real. Harumph. I'm not really sure what this is. A little pepper poodle? Okay, hold on. Pepper chihuahua? Hold on. I might be a sucker for dog Pokemon, but I want it to be real. I'll say it. That's a pretty good design. This was definitely meant to be like an air Pokemon. Like Game Freak was doing like land, sea, deep sea. I feel like maybe they had like an air zone, and maybe this was supposed to be like that. Okay, so this is just a peacock. This Pokemon is just a peacock. I could understand why they don't want to overcomplicate the design anymore, because peacocks are already by default kind of complicated. It's all right. It's all right. I think if they do bring back the peacock design one way or the other, I think they should do more. Oh, this one's really cool. This one, I think it's a mantis shrimp Pokemon. Another one from the water, but this one would be freaky. I'm sure this would be like water fighting or something. I kind of want it to be real. I kind of want it to be real. Maybe I'm just a sucker for the mantis shrimp design, but I like the colors too. The green, the turquoise, the red. I think it does really well here. How long have I been doing this? I need to speed up. Donkey Kong Pokemon. Kind of lazy. But I do like the concept. And I kind of wish they would bring it back, because this is one of those. Maybe this turned into slacking. Who knows? You know, actually, I'm gonna skip ahead, because there's another Pokemon here that I'm pretty certain was supposed to be a pre-evolution. So here's a bigger form of the Donkey Kong, or bigger image of it. Yeah, it's just Donkey Kong, whatever. It's got some red in there too. I like this presumably baby form with the symbols. I think this is interesting, but maybe they couldn't come up with like a better Donkey Kong design. I like the baby form a lot more. Oh, it's a book bird. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Wait a minute. Would that be grass type as well, though? Maybe. Oh, imagine like Tropius had like a book motif. This is honestly a really cute design. Really cute design. I kind of want it to be real. Mudkip was supposed to be a bunny, which I find crazy. I agree. I'm gonna get to that later. I have some things to say about that. I have some things to say about that. Okay, so it's a bird. It's a bowling pin. Kind of weird. It's a rooster. Not great to look at. However, this Pokemon justifies its existence when you imagine Spheal. Now, what do I mean by that? What does Spheal do when it's trying to move from one location to another? That's right. It rolls. Now imagine there's, I don't know, what is it, 12? Imagine there's 12 of these guys in a group approximately in the shape of a triangle. What would happen? Probably disaster. I think this Pokemon was supposed to accompany Spheal, but also the design didn't really land, so they didn't make it a thing. And it's kind of, I don't like looking at it. I kind of am okay that it doesn't exist. I dub it Cluckpin. If they made it more penguin-like, I would for sure like put it higher. I'll put it in what? I won't put it that low. I won't be that harsh. But yeah, this flower one is pretty cool. It got far enough, you know, just like the other ones with art, that it got official art. Actually, I don't think I put the sprite work on here, or maybe it appears later. I don't know why. It's not here, because this is what the sprite art looks like. It's like, yeah, it's like a little elusive pixie fairy. It's kind of cool. I don't like that it's just white here. I like the pixel art more. Yeah, definitely Flabébé vibes. Maybe it did have multiple colors. That would have been really cool. I can see this being a proto Flabébé. I think I would need to see more of it to rank it higher. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave it here for now. So we had like a little pepper poodle up here, a pink pepper poodle, but now we have a tomato. I don't know what that is otherwise. I know I was saying like I like Pokemon where it's like I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm not really. I don't have a lot to say about this. Again, like if I were to see it in action, it would grow on me. If there was like a Pokemon special, if like Brock owned one of these because he liked cooking, probably would have grown on me. The anime is really great Pokemon propaganda. Japanese fruit, so it's not a tomato. Okay, so this one's just like a dog. I'm not really sure what else to think of here. I think the Passimian one is supposed to go like with a... Oh, Persimmon one is supposed to go with like the Cake Poodle one. Yeah, oh yeah, Persimmon, yeah. Yeah, probably, I agree. Gossiflora looks like a chili pepper in bloom. Really? I might not know as much about foods as I thought. Not that I thought I knew anything really. It's like a dog cow. Honestly, I don't really understand it. Maybe it was just like a really... They just wanted to make a Pokemon based off this breed of dog. I forget the name. Early version of Stoutland. Early version of Mastiff. Whatever. Okay, I think this is another one of those Pokemon where it's like they wanted to replace Gen 1 Pokemon because they wanted Gen 3 to be its own thing. I think Gen 3 was Gen 3 had what 120 new Pokemon or something. I think it was supposed to have up to 200 new Pokemon. I heard that somewhere. Don't quote me. Maybe more. I don't know. I feel like this was just like supposed to be a Vulpix replacement. It's cute. It's fine. I think it needs like refined. It's all right. This is a freak. This is a freak. But like in a a good way. It's a monster. I don't know if it fits Pokemon's art style for me, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah, I like this a lot. I don't know if I can bring myself to put him in S tier, but yeah, solid A for me. Is this the evolved form of that fox that I was just looking at? Hold on. I think it might be. Yeah. It wishes it was Ninetales. I don't really know what I'm looking at. Is that like a ghost? I don't mind it though. It's all right. It's all right. We got some more water Pokemon or other water Pokemon. It's cool. It's cool. I would have welcomed this. It looks like what are those? What is that thing that it's like a surfboard but it has the two sails? It's a very simple name, but I don't. Anyway, this Pokemon's cool. This Pokemon's cool. I'll put it. Hold on, it's pretty cool. I'll put it in A tier. I like what. I think its simplicity is nice. I just think he's neat. Okay, this Pokemon, I've wanted a Pokemon like this for so long. I'm so glad this didn't become real. It's like that little that like tiny little shrew that like goes boink 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 that hops around. Togedemaru? No. There's like a real life animal that looks exactly like this, and I don't remember what it is. It has similar characteristics to Togedemaru, but Togedemaru is a hedgehog. Jerboa. Yes. Look at this little guy. Oh, I love it. The way they move around too, they jump. Do they not have arms? I don't know. I want a Pokemon based off this, and I'm so sad. Kind of like how it took forever to get a Dolphin. I really like the Dolphin that we got. This one doesn't look as good as a real animal. Don't get me wrong, but I like it a lot. I think I like the animal more. I'll put it. I mean, it's all right. Little turtle with like a present instead of a shell. I like it. It kind of accompanies Delibird. No strong feelings though. I think the design's a little basic. It doesn't really appeal to me. This little lizard with a fire on its tail, I kind of like it. I like this guy a lot. He gives me Drampa vibes. Also plus fire tail. I wouldn't mind if he existed. I don't know if I love it so much that I would put it in S tier, but I like it a lot. I'm not sure what they were going for with this. I like how weird it is, but it seems like a little under-designed. So I'm gonna put it in what? We got another Earth Pokemon. Yeah, I want it to be real. I'm sold. I want it to be real. Put that in S tier. I want it to be Harumph. It's a really cool concept too, with the tail and also the rocks on its back. I could imagine the Regis were supposed to resemble like Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza a little bit more. Like maybe this was going to be Groudon's like right-hand man or something, And this one was gonna be Rayquaza's right hand, and then I don't think there's a water one. Well, maybe this was like Kyogre's right hand. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be cool. Hold on, I don't even remember looking at this one. What am I looking at? It's got like claws all around its stub foot leg. That's weird, but it does inspire me. It does inspire. I'm gonna put that one in S tier as well. I think that's like really cool. Maybe it's the art carry again. I don't know. I'm putting it up there. Okay, this next one is entering my top 5, and it is not leaving. This one is 100% one of my favorites, and I'm so glad sad is the word that I meant to say. I'm so sad that we never got this. So this thing, okay, first of all, it's like this little gecko thing on this rock. Oh, what's that? The rock is actually a part of it, part of its tail. It uses its tail to ground itself. What's that on the tail? Is that unknown language? Are those unknowns? Were they going to expand upon the unknown lore that kind of ended up falling flat? And you're like, okay, wait, is this the head? How do I know it's a tail? It looks like there's more stuff going on it. Maybe that's a face, and like that's like the lower lip, and that's the eyebrow. It's looking backwards. I thought that for a second, but look at that. Look at that. That's an eyeball. This thing is so freaky. I am so sad this is not real. Mega unknown, I don't care. Bring it back. Hi, Logan. Welcome in. Missing? No, kind of. Kind of. It's so good. This is such a cool design. We were really missed out by not having this. I think we're worse off that this doesn't exist. This might be number 1, honestly. Okay, oh my gosh, we have another sound type duo. One that I'm almost certain evolves into the other. There's this one, which is like, there's the eye, there's the mouth. It's got these like punchy arms and this saxophone tail. And then there's this one, which is more, I don't know, baritone-esque. It's cool. Honestly, the more I look at these, the more I'm almost convinced they wanted it to be a sound type. I'm putting these in S tier, honestly. I'm putting these in S tier. If they are genuinely sound type Pokemon, I think they're great. I don't know what this is. This is it's very like Krabby and Magnemite-esque. I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I'm not gonna put it higher than that. Little snowman butterfly. I didn't have any strong feelings about this thing at first, but the more now that I'm looking at it up close, that's like a really fun concept. I want it to be real. Little beta snom. All right, guys. Not only is it snom, but it's like a hippo kind of. I don't know if it's quite as my taste, but I can't lie. I think it deserves to be real. I'm gonna put it up there. Okay, this next thing. I only have the artwork here. I don't have the sprite. I should have put both, honestly. No idea what this is supposed to be, but it's got art, so it was supposed to look like this. This is what the sprite art looks like, and I like this a lot more. Honestly, with the sprite art, makes me feel like it's kind of like a cloud. So maybe this is a pure flying type? The artwork doesn't lend itself to that. It's such a weird little guy. Is this perhaps another food-based Pokemon? Flying rabbit thing? I think some people have expressed their like for it, but I don't have any I don't have it's alright. It's alright. That's all I have to say. Girl Beedrill, whatever. I can see its appeal. It's alright. I would welcome it to be real. Whatever. This is another one I only have the artwork for. Is that a music note with, but then like it's like a paint thing? Okay, that's a music note. That is No, they 100% wanted there to be a sound type, without a doubt. There's no way. I don't know what other kind of type it would be. That's a musical. That's a trill. That's an eighth note. Okay. This next one. Oh, is that two different forms? This seems like they wanted to expand upon the elemental beasts from Gen 2 with Suicune, Raikou, and Entei, and maybe they wanted like a rock type version. I feel like this would fit in line with that really, really well. I don't love the design or anything, but I'll put it in A tier. I think it's cool. Okay, you guys aren't ready for this. So we all knew for a while that there was a Blaziken Latias fusion, and it seems like they went through a lot of different renditions. I don't really care for this one. This one's completely new to me. I don't like it. I like Latias and Blaziken a lot more than this thing. This next one is the Bombshell. We kind of knew for a while. I like this one more. You know, Blaziken, Latias fusion, whatever. This was one of the earliest cut Pokemon that we ever knew about. We never saw the sprite work for this. We saw art, but the Bombshell that came with this was that it was supposed to be a Delibird evolution. Yeah, it was supposed to be this crazy, freaky, powerful Delibird fusion the entire time. For that alone, I want it to be real Harumph. Okay, this thing I only saw art for. I couldn't find any sprite work. It's like a little blob, but it has this skull on it. I really am not sure what this is meant to be. But I like the idea of this maybe being it's like Bagon, where it's like maybe a baby pseudo legend. I could see this becoming something like pretty crazy, so I want it to be real Harumph. Okay. We've made it to the bunny. So I like this design. I think a water rabbit with like this inner tube is kind of a funny design. I think it leans into the territory for me where I think like a flesh air tube is kind of weird, but like it's not like completely unheard of, because if it could deflate, I feel like it's whatever. It would remain to be seen. I'm like inserting some headcanon. I like this design. I think that I like rabbits. I think I like this more than Scorbunny, and Scorbunny is my starter of choice for Galar. Take that with what you will. I know a lot of people say Galar is the worst starter region, whatever. I think this Pokemon should exist, but I have been seeing a lot of slander online about Mudkip. A lot of people are saying, oh, Mudkip, oh, we got Mudkip instead of this thing. Listen, I'm not gonna, like I said, this Pokemon is cool, but are we really going to lie and say that this Pokemon is a better design than Mudkip? Mudkip introduced me to Axolotls. Mudkip, honestly, is a top 5 starter Pokemon. It's like this little axolotl, but it has these fins. So it's kind of its own beast. You're not even sure what it is, and then Swampert, it's its own monster. Yeah, Marshtomp's weird, but that makes it endearing. I like this Pokemon, but to say that we should have got this instead of Mudkip, I feel like you're lying to yourself. I want it to be real. I want it to be real. It's not top 5 for me out of the list, but I'm glad we got Mudkip. That's my 2 cents. Okay, I didn't even look at this thing that long. What is this? This reminds me of those early, like the beta art for the Guardians from Breath of the Wild. It's just this horror monster, and that's not a bad thing. I don't know what it is. I don't think it'd be a great a great fit for Pokemon, but I do want it to be real. Okay, so this is the presumed final form of this thing down here. This final form is nice. What's the plant called? Dragon lilies? Was it a dragon lily? Is that what it's called? I think this Pokemon's really cool. I think this could live alongside like all of the other feminine grass Pokemon and be like its own thing entirely. This thing 100% should be real. Harumph. Oh, the polar bear Pokemon. They've put. Sorry, I almost remixed myself. With the leaks, we've seen that they've tried this polar bear design so many times. Okay, like obviously this was Beartic in Gen 3. I kind of like this one more than Beartic. I don't know, like it's also kind of just a polar bear, but I rate it. Oh, my camera's covering it. I rate it in the in this A tier over here. Maybe it's water ice. I think it'd be cool. I think this would be a cool Pokemon. These are all of the Gen 3 cut Pokemon. We still have some Gen 3 designs that we'll be getting to, but now we are going to the Gen 5 cut Pokemon. And this one is kind of interesting. There's a lot going on with this one. I feel like it's a beta Druddigon, just because it's also like an amalgamation of a lot of different things. Oh, this was one of the Gen 5 Pokemon that got far enough in development where I've seen videos of an early build of Black and White. This has animated sprites. This has like an animation loop for its standing in battle, but it was far enough in development to justify them making all of those frames for it. I don't mind that it's not real. I think there's like an interesting idea here. I feel like there was passion here. This is a back sprite, by the way. This is what it looked like. I'm gonna put it in what? Because it kind of confuses me. It doesn't feel like a Pokemon. Yeah, I would agree to that. Yeah. This next one, in the same vein, also had full animation. It like hopped around. It's like a little mouse. I think it might have been an early version of Minccino, maybe. But this obviously isn't a chinchilla. It's like a mouse, but I think it's cute. I think a Pokemon like this in Gen 5, even though it's really, really simple, I think it would have eased people to it more. I don't, okay, I'm gonna say, instead of cool, I'm gonna say good. I don't know if I need it to be real, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it for what it is. This next one, though, I cannot quite say the same things about it. I don't know what this is at all. I don't know what to think. I don't know what that red thing is. Like, it has limbs, it's standing, it wants to fight, but its head is literally bigger than the rest of its body. What? What were they? I don't know. What were they going for? I really do not know. Okay. These next three Pokemon, I think are really cool. There were Pokedex entries for, I believe, Shelmet? It was for some like weird Gen 5 Pokemon like that, where it was like they took out the rivaling snail Pokemon, and I think this is the snail Pokemon. These are the snail Pokemon. I would have loved these Pokemon, honestly. I think I really liked the Time Pole line as a kid. I think I would have liked these Pokemon way more than the Time Pole line. It's a snail. It also has a shield. It's standing up. I think these Pokemon have a lot going for them. They can make these Pokemon in Gen 10, and it would fit. All three of these, I want them to be real Harumph. Even though I know they got leaked, I think they deserve to be real. They are really cool designs. I mean, technically they could become real, but the leak, you know, makes it little. Oh, I just bummed myself out even more. Anyway, Beta Gallade. There aren't a lot of Gen 4 Pokemon, or there weren't at least on the first day. This is early Gallade. He kind of looks a little more meek. His arms look more sword-like. But I'm glad we got the official one instead. Beta Genesect. kind of cool. Cool pose. Oh, I'm gonna put Galadan that basically exists, actually. Forgot I had that tier. Genesect, honestly, no strong feelings. It's kind of cool. No strong feelings. Gigalith, also differently colored. It basically exists. I like this color scheme more, but whatever. Golett basically exists. It's formed a little bit differently, but I think it's just because it's like earlier sprite art, maybe. Golurk, a little too elongated. I'm gonna put it in oh, it's because it's like supposed to be like a cannon. It could transform. I'm just gonna put it in what? I'm gonna make it a little bit lower than that. Gothitelle had eyebrows, and its foot was a little more visible in the sprite art. Is that one extra earlobe? Are those earlobes? What are those? It's fine. It's fine. It's kind of different, but I'm gonna put it in no strong feelings. Okay, Grovyle. We actually have a beta Grovyle, and I think the typing was leaked for this. This was not a starter. He was not supposed to be a starter. This was a rock flying type, is what I saw. I don't know. Maybe I would prefer this. Maybe I would prefer this, but it's kind of cool. Grovyle's cool by default. This has more leaves on it. Oddly, you like this Gothitelle better? I think when you compare it to base Gothitelle, I think this one you're right. This one's more interesting to me. Archeops pre-evo for the Grovyle? I mean, maybe. Oh my gosh, there's so many here. Okay, I'm gonna try to speed through some of these. This is Grumpig. What? Especially when it comes from Spoink, who, you know, well, let's get Spoink right now, right out the gate. This is Spoink. This is beta Spoink. I like it a lot in its own right, but I definitely don't want it to replace regular Spoink. You know what I'm saying? Here's a close-up of Spoink. The spring's a lot bigger. It's orange. I don't mind it, but I prefer regular Spoink. Okay, so this is Girder, the baby form of... Wait, where's the Conkeldurr? What did I do with that? Did I put it in A tier? This is Conkeldurr up here with the big mustache. It's... No strong feelings. No strong feelings. I tried. No strong feelings. I guess this is a beta Happiny. Let me get a bigger image up real quick, if I can find it. This is a beta Happiny. I kind of don't like looking at it, so I'm glad we got the official one instead. Hariyama is kind of crazy. Hariyama became a Pokemon. This was a Pokemon that had 3 forms. There was Hariyama, before that is Makihita, and before that was like a baby form. This Hariyama looks crazy. It has like wings, or are those extra hands on the back? I don't know. This thing is kind of crazy. Heatmore is kind of ugly, so I'm gonna be happy we got this one instead. Herdier is basically the same one. Honchkrow, at a first glance, it looks like the same one, but if you didn't notice, this one has a mustache. It has like the 2 like mustaches. Also, the feet are white. The patch. Mustaches. It doesn't really match its mob boss design, in my opinion. But I think the like mustache Pokemon are so funny. I'm gonna put it up in A tier. Okay, so Huntail. I wish I could put these in the correct order. So Huntail and Gorbis were actually one Pokemon. Huntail was the main one, and Gorbis was the one on the back. It kind of resembles an Angler in that way. I really like this design a lot, and the reason why they were one Pokemon, I'll put it in A tier, is because as you can see with Clamperl, let me find that and bring it up again real quick. It was like a symbiotic relationship. There was 2 of them, and this Clamperl going into like the big Huntail just makes a lot of sense. Yeah, now it makes sense. Yeah. I don't mind at all. I wouldn't mind if it was real. This is Beta Hydreigon. It's weird that it's like this because I thought it was I'm pretty sure it was originally supposed to be like a tank, like an artillery tank. Yeah, I mean it exists, but it doesn't. We're better off that this one doesn't exist. All right. I don't know if this is Beta Carablast, or if it's like an evolved form of Carablast, but it's got its eyes up here. And then it turns into this. So I always liked Carablast, but I didn't like Escavalier as an evolution of Carablast. I still like this form up here. Carablast, I'll put this one in basically exists. Why not? But I think this form as like a regular evolution of Carablast is honestly kind of cool. This one has been making its rounds. This is Beta Cricketune. I think it's funny, but like, what? Yeah, chunk. Honestly, I could put this in any one of these tiers, and I feel like it makes sense. But I do like the real one instead. So, this next Pokemon is really interesting. This is the original form of Kyurem. And this is really interesting because if we were to get a Legends Unova game and we were to see the original form of, like, the original dragon, it might have ended up looking something like this. Maybe it was meant to look like this, but now it won't. I mean, it would... There's different design philosophies by now anyway, so 100% it would look different either way. But this is a really interesting design. It's really interesting, like, for lore if you care about it. I feel like the overworld sprite and the game sprite look a little bit different. But I kind of want it to be real. It's pretty neat, yeah. Licky Licky has gone through so many iterations, it's kind of crazy. And this one was supposed to be like I don't know, a fruit by the foot. It's so freaky, but also it's already kind of iconic. I kind of want it to be real. It makes more sense, like the current Licky Licky that we actually have is a pre-evolution of Lickitung. And maybe this is the final form. Liepard, it's more of a, like, just a regular leopard. It's, I'm no strong feelings. I don't mind the current leopard. It's like a double bubble roll. Yeah, exactly. But instead of bubblegum, it's like a double bubble roll of tongue, which is a crazy thing to say out loud. This is a beta Lileep, so I guess this is what Lileep looks like inside. Like, it's always hiding, obviously. But I guess if you were to open up Lileep, it would maybe look something like this. Spoilers. There's a lot going on. I think that the many different colors lend to itself of being like this thing that shouldn't exist that was brought back to life as from a fossil. But other than that aside, what? Lillipup basically exists. This is Lombre without its hat. I must still say it basically exists though. But this is what Lombre looks like without its hat. This is Lotad. I'm gonna say it's basically exists, even though it's like also kind of different. It's a little more ominous, honestly. I'm gonna put it here though. Oh, here we go. These are the baby forms of Hariyama. This is the baby Hariyama, and this is Makihita. I think we were robbed. I think we were robbed. These... we should have got the full thing. We should have got the full thing. Other than the fact that this Hariyama's hair is down. It's so cool. I would have loved this as a kid especially, but also now. Anyway, big miss out. We're still missing one more Pokemon from the top 5. I might have to go through this and reevaluate some things. You know what? I want it to be real. Harumph. This is Beta Manectric, but you can see it kind of already exists. This is Beta Masquerain, which is kind of interesting. I think what we got makes a lot more sense, but I'm gonna put it in what? Because I'm kind of confused by it. This next one is Beta Meloetta, and it's kind of weird, but it looks like they were going for a bug. Like it's like a Jiminy Cricket, but also a singer. I'm glad we got the current Meloetta, but I feel like this could coexist and maybe be another form. I think it's honestly pretty good. But if I had to choose between that one and the official Meloetta, I'd choose the official Meloetta. So this is Beta Metagross. It is terrifying beyond reason. And this is a lot. It's a lot to take in. I think it's really cool. It's pretty. I don't want it to be real. If that meant getting rid of the current Metagross. This is a Beta Nincada. I like it. It's cute. I like it. I'm gonna put it. It's all right. Honestly, it's pretty good actually. Okay, so this one is, I'm pretty sure Beta Nuzleaf. Like if you were to split this Pokemon in half, and one would be Nuzleaf, one would be Shiftry. I can see that. This was a standalone. I think it'd be pretty cool. I would welcome it honestly. I would put it in A tier there. Ew. What do you know about Beta Palpitoad? It's got like, it doesn't have feet. It just has toes. We are so much better off that this doesn't exist. And while we're at it, Seismitoad, we're gonna put you down there as well. We have the beta versions of the monkeys. And honestly, I think the elemental monkeys get a little more hate than they deserve. I don't think they're that offensive. These ones are fine. I like the official ones more. But I'm still gonna put these in basically exists. Same with Pawniard here. We could go to the evolved forms. I don't like how elongated it is. I like how the silhouettes are pretty different for these three. But it's kind of weird that it's elongated. Simisage, other than the tail being more floofy, it basically exists. Simisear? You know what? I think this is better than the original. Hold on, that is pretty good. I think I prefer the original for Simisear. But I like that this one has its own identity, and I think that pulls a lot of weight. He's being himself. Pignite. This goes with the Emboar from earlier, which I think this is a huge improvement on the Emboar design that we got. This Pignite, where did I put it? It's a palette swap. I'm gonna say it basically exists. I like the color design that we got officially. I think this needs more like red, honestly, but it's fine. I only got art of this, but this is like a Beta Poochyena, and it looks a lot more mangy, which is probably fine, but I 100% prefer the one that we got. So I'm gonna put this one down here. So glad we got the official one instead. This is original Relicanth. I think it's more interesting, but I'm glad we got the official one instead. This was the original Reshiram. Yeah, I don't know. I like the one we got a little bit more. I like the red accents, but I like that oh, with the tail. Oh, I'm glad we got the official one instead. This one is for Riolu. Riolu. It looks a little sillier. Once more, I'm glad we got the official one instead. Roggenrola basically exists, but with this one's a better color scheme. Rotom Wash. This one's kind of silly. Instead of a washing machine, I think it's supposed to be a sink or something, but it definitely looks like toilet. I mean, it's got a plug. I don't know what they're going. The art's really. It's neat. It's neat. I don't hate it, honestly. It's honestly pretty good. If we're gonna have a toilet Pokemon, this looks pretty good. Yeah, Rotom Toilet, 100. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so there's two Pokemon here that I believe are Sableye. There's this one, which is like really neat little guy. That's obviously Sableye, I think. And this is like officially, or like with the code, it's Beta Sableye. This one, I am not a huge fan of it. This one. Does it basically exist? No, I think it's pretty deep. This is like a baby Sableye. If we got this as a baby Sableye, I'd be super down. I'm gonna put it in B tier, A tier. Beta Sawsbuck. Oh, there's two of them here. This one is like kind of basic, but this one basically exists, so I'm gonna put that there. So Scraggy was originally gonna be a Gen 3 Pokemon. Let me bring up the larger image here. This was the very first Scraggy, and I think he's adorable. He was supposed to be in Gen 3, but was cut. I think it's pretty good. I'm kind of sad it's not real, but it is what it is. I assume it was for Crunch. And then this is what Scraggy looked like originally for Gen 5. I think the form was like coming together, but I think that skin looks a little bit ugly. I like that we got what we got instead. And I think maybe this is another Scraggy. Maybe it's Scrafty. I think this is Scrafty. I think this one's passable. I'm glad we got the original, but I'm gonna say no strong feelings. This I can only imagine was C dot, or was what, or the C dot that evolved into the shifty Nuzleaf up here. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I'm gonna say it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's neat. I'll put it there. Servine and Superior. I like the Superior more than the one we got. I think the silhouette is more striking, or sorry, I mean the pose. Everything about it's more striking. The colors. I think the colors are interesting too. It's like a light green, but there's also blue. It'd be interesting if a grass type starter had this kind of color scheme. I'd be down for this 100%. Maybe this wasn't a starter originally. Servine, whatever, whatever. But this Superior, I think is I like it more than the original. I like it more than the original. Give him his tail back. They took his tail. Sharpedo. This one's cool. It's neat. I think Sharpedo looking like a torpedo and not having a tail makes it more interesting than this. Maybe if it's his tail could like retract into itself. I don't know. I don't know. I like this. I think it's like pretty, like really intimidating. I don't know if I could put it in A tier though. Honestly, Game Freak could really use this Terra Leak to their advantage and bring back most of these designs. They could. I mean, you know what? I don't know if they'll bring back a lot of these, considering it's already leaked. If they became official, they'll have like new Pokemon, and it's like something they saw a couple years ago. I think people would complain about that. It might be bad press, whatever. But no matter what, they're gonna see people's reactions to a lot of these Pokemon, and they're gonna get like direct feedback for what thousands upon thousands of people like and don't like about these designs. And maybe that could lend to even better designs for when Gen 10 comes out. This could, yeah, it could be a good thing. But I was saying earlier how I think that because a lot of these designs got leaked, there's no way we see them in their exact state as official Pokemon, which is kind of sad. They could make it work, but they're also like a big company. I don't know. I feel like at the scale that Pokemon is, I think the whole company business aspect of it complicates it a lot more than obviously would be preferable. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad that's going to come from this leak, and unfortunately, including like the Game Freak developers getting doxxed, that is just awful. And all of the resources that are going to be like sent out to encompass this is going to hurt the development time for the Pokemon games. It's a big mixed bag, but I mean, as a fan of the Pokemon games, this is fun to look at. Beta Shaman, a lot of flowers. Basically exists though. How resentful do you have to be? Yeah, like clearly if you hack into Game Freak one way or the other, clearly you have some skill. Get a job. Beta Shedinja. It's kind of different. No strong feelings. I don't know if I could put it in basically exists. This is Beta Shelmet. Why you got that tongue out? Put that away. Beta Shroomish. Oh, he's kind of cute. This was before Shroomish changed. He's neat. Do I put it with the Breloom? I'll put it with the Breloom. Why not? Skitty's okay. I like Skitty and I kind of like this, but like what? It's like a cat shrew, a cat marsupial. I don't really know what they were going for with this. I don't hate it, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of neat, but it's weird. I like weird though, so I'm gonna put it up there. Oh, Beta Skorupi. It's basically the same thing. Beta Skuntank. It's like kind of bulkier, but I guess it's the same thing. Okay, so I think this was like an early design of Spiritomb, but it was just like a haunted painting. Which I think this would be a cool Pokemon on its own. Like maybe a Spiritomb Convergent. I think it's neat. I want to see more of what this could do. Like this design could be the exact same, but if they like expanded on the lore, the moveset, the way it moved in the animations, I think that would bump it up. But as it is, it's neat. Staraptor, it's a little fatter, but it's basically the same one. Stoutland is he needs to eat his vegetables. Okay, so Stunfisk, as like the official one that we got, I don't mind it because it's different. It's a ground electric type, but it's clearly an aquatic animal. However, I really like this blue. I really like this blue. So I think I rate this Stunfisk. It's pretty good. I think this blue is really, really good. But they wanted it to be a ground type to be different. So they needed to convey that in a way. So they made it from blue to brown, but it's fine. Nick likes blue. Got it. It's a nice blue. Scraggy. Superior, kind of. These guys. Huh. You got me. Surskit. Its legs are really stubby. I don't know if I would say this is an improvement on regular Surskit, but I think it's neat. I like it. It's cute. Oh my goodness. Swablu looks like he got put on that or the scare machine in Monsters Inc. Oh, Swalot did keep the diamonds. This is Swalot. I don't know what this looks like. Is this a Super Mario World Yoshi's Island reference? What? Beta Swanna, basically the same. Beta Tepig, I like the Tepig we got, but I honestly think this color scheme is pretty cool. I like it. I like the color scheme. I'm gonna put it up there, even though I like original Tepig more. Oh, that's Terrakion, guys, from Gen 5, the Sword of Justice. Yeesh. Okay, so this is the genie, but I think it has qualities of all 4 of them, oddly enough. This looks terrifying. If we got just this one, as opposed to all of the other 3, I wouldn't mind. Like, obviously, I would like the sprite art to be cleaned up a little bit more. Ooh, but if we had, like, an ultimate genie, I want it to be real. It looks like MS Paint artwork. Yeah. I'm pretty sure up through Gen 5, they were using the sprite work as concept art. So I think... Oh, are we talking about Terrakion? That's why Palpitoad and Seismitoad look like this. That's why this Sableye looks like this. Terrakion looks like this. Because they need designs that could fit in pixel art. And I think that's why... I mean, like, because for Gen 3, we haven't seen any art like this yet for anything other generation. But that's why with Gen 3, we got, like, crazy detailed art like this. But you gotta translate this to a Game Boy, and how do you do that? How do you gotta translate this to a DS and have, like, moving pieces and make, like, the pixel art that animates? And if the designs are too complicated, you can't do that. That's why I think these are betas. This is Beta Timber. I kind of like it. It's neat. Tirtuga, I'm gonna say this is basically the same. Tirtuga was like from an unreleased Gen 1 Pokemon, which is really cool. Anyway, fun fact. Over. What? Didn't I just... Hello? Didn't I just put you... Did I... Oh. I gotta put it lower because of that. Because there's 2 of them. Okay, Beta Torchic with the wings. This is like if Blaziken was going to have the wings like this. I don't mind it. Oh, because it... I don't mind it. It's fine. I want to say basically exists, though. Trapinch, I think, was supposed to be separate from Flygon line. Maybe not. Who knows? I'm going to say basically exists, even though the legs are different. Trico is basically the same. But I do want to point out that he's been under a little too many influences than the one we got. Wait, is it not on the list? There's another beta Pokemon that kind of looks like Torchic. What the heck? Where is it? Here it is. There's this Pokemon too, which I really am not sure what I'm looking at. Is that a ghost type? Because it's kind of floating. Because Torchic got the little feather floof up there. This is Beta Tropius. I'm glad we got the Tropius we got. I'll just leave it at that. Beta Time Pole looks way better than these guys. Soon way better days. And if this was the Time Pole that we got, I wouldn't be mad. But, no strong feelings. Or, sorry, they're neat, sorry. Dynamo, basically the same. Vibrava is kind of interesting, honestly, because this is the one before the wings. I'm gonna bring up a larger image. I think it's kind of cute, honestly. There he is. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I kind of wish he was real. You know what? I want him to be real, Harumph. How about that? This is made of Victini. His eyes are falling off his face, and he's, like, really pale. So he's like the Victini we got, just a little more sickly. But if I was trapped in a one-bedroom apartment with a TV and a bed and a table for, like, a couple decades, I'd probably look like that, too. This is a more refined version of Cobalion, I believe. Or is this Virizion? It's probably Virizion, I guess. What? I'm kind of confused, honestly. We got Weavile here, which is pretty much the same. And we have Zebstrika. It's kind of the same. This was like only one Pokemon before. Zebstrika and Blitzel were one Pokemon, and this is what it looks like. And honestly, this looks like that in between, you know, when Ben 10 like turned into an alien, and there was like that one frame of half Ben, half forearms or whatever. This is what that reminds me of. I'm still gonna put in, but it basically exists. Hold on, Beta Zekrom is kind of cool. I like the green. I like the one we got more for sure. But it's neat. Sorry, it's neat. I did put on the cute Zigzagoon. Oh, look at him! He's just a little more stubby and a little more frail. I forgot that he was even on the list. I love him. I love him. I'll put it there. We have Beta Zoroark and Zorua. We'll start with a Zorua here. I think it's a little too... Oh. I think it's a little too edgy for my liking. Actually, I like this. I like this one more. I like this Zoroark more than the one that we got, to be honest. Oh! Where was this one? Right there. I like this Zoroark more than the one we got. I don't know why. Like the Unova Zoroark doesn't really land with me. But I like that one. This Zorua is a little bit much. I'm gonna say it basically exists. Whatever. Next we have Zweilius. Yeah. I'll put you there. You know, I'm gonna put all three of them there. It's fine, whatever. So these last three I only found online just today, and they're beta designs for Gen 6 Pokemon, and these are the only beta Gen 6 Pokemon that I found, and they're basically just recolorings. We got Blue Hawlucha. Well, you guys know, you know the drill. It's blue. Honestly, it's pretty good. I think the one that we have is way better for like what it's supposed to be. But I think this blue is aesthetically pleasing. Looks like a false shiny. It does kind of look like that. I mean, this could be a shiny. No, they never did shiny art. Beta Klefki. Instead of having the keyhole mouth that has these key eyes. That's like the major difference, I guess. I think I like this one more than regular Klefki. It seems...
Did I jump scare you?
This one is pretty good. I like it more than the original. And last but not least, we have Brown Volcanion. Is it like groundwater?
Did I jump scare you?
I got you. You got me. Sorry for hitting the mic. Yeah, so I guess that's the oh, we need a fifth one for the top 5. It's got to be something from the S tier. It could be the sound Pokemon. I really like this snowman butterfly. The bunny, the tree here. Emboar is like okay, so I see these as completely unique Pokemon. Obviously they are. I see this as a pre-evolution to Deoxys. I see this as an evolution to Cacturn. I don't know if I would put a straight up redesign into top 5 like Emboar, but I think this Emboar in top 5 would change history, literally. No, I will not elaborate anymore. But I do really like the bunny. It's the only cut starter that we've seen, and starters are meant to be universally loved. This one has obviously been universally loved. However, I think there is one Pokemon that we have all forgotten and put to the wayside. I can't find the sprite. Wool Rabbit, Delibird Evolution, Delibird Evo, the Snail Final Evo. It's no one agrees with me on the Chihuahua then? My eyes keep going to the rabbit. I do really love the snail line. I genuinely think these should be Pokemon. It's gotta be the rabbit. If I were to rank the top 5, like I said, I love all these designs. I think this design is crazy, but also just what it does for the lore and with Unknown. I think this one has to be number 1. Deoxys is freaky and cute. Oh, but the Cacturn is a menace. Oh, yeah. This is my ranking. 2 rabbits! 2 rabbits in the top 5. Who would have guessed? This took like 3 hours. What's wrong with me? It's like it is 200 Pokemon that don't exist to varying degrees. But there you have it. I'm gonna put it in my my Discord in pics and vids. Actually, gaming. I'll put it in gaming, and then I'll put the link to the tier list if you guys want to do one yourself.